Hello folks, Sam Owens here, and I really have a nice project or actually it's a fireplace, an electric fireplace, and I've just taken it out of the box. All there is a power cord, the instructions, and a remote control, and there is a bag of materials that help accentuate the colors and so forth, and give you some special effects. I'll bring those out later. But one of the big things is there's two ways of installing this, and I'm going to be placing information up to the right about the product as we go along. So at any time, pause when you see it if you want to get more information. Right here is some basic information, even a telephone number, and this is taped to the front. We'll get into the remote control probably toward the last, after we get it in and start operating. We're going to do the surface mount. That means I'm not going to cut any holes and have this installed in. The first step is remove the glass frame. Okay, what I've done is turn the whole thing around, and this is the bottom. There's the screw right there, and it's not very tight, so it's a Phillips screwdriver. Takes a Phillips screwdriver, and I can put it over to the side. You can't just pull one side. When you do the screw, you have to move the whole thing. I didn't realize that. It didn't really explain that. So now I can lift it up. So again, trying to lift it just one side, you can't. You have to pull this back because there's cleats on both sides, and then you can lift this up, pull this, and there's a little clip here that you push down and it will unhook. You have to pull, yeah. Okay. It's best if you have a pair of side cutters to cut that little zip tie, and then it will allow the two cables to separate. And then very carefully, I mean carefully, do not cut the wire cable. I can pull this out and lift it out like this. Be very careful. This is glass, and what I'm going to show you, see, these are the things it's hanging on, and this one side is actually screwed in, so you can't just pull it. You got to slide it down like I showed. And these were tie wrapped together. So what you have to do is actually push on this, and it will pull out. I'm sure that these are going to be cut. This looks like a tray, and it's just holding it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out so that we don't have to deal with those later. And I think what this is going to be is the tray for those little stones that are going to go in. Right here are handles that you can pick this up. There's one on this side and one on the other. And it looks like you have some heating elements right up here, and you have two vents right here. So you're going to have air coming in, and this is going to be the area to allow the heat to come out. Air goes in, heat comes out. And you have some elements down here which are going to give you the flame look and so forth. So when you look down there, be careful and not to disturb that, because that's a solid state bar with the connections in it. Let's see, and here is that cable, the other end of the front panel, and you'll slide those together, and they only go one way. There's a guide here, so you can't make a mistake. All right, there's a power switch right here, and we're going to look and see what that is all about. And I don't see anything else that we need to worry about. These two slots right here are where the front glass panel is going to fit into it. Now we got to go to step 2, which is removing the mounting bracket right here. There's that other screw, and I need that screw. And let's see, they're probably about the same screws. Yes, they are the same screw, so it won't hurt anything if you put them together. Yep, they're the same. Now, hold on to it and go to the other side, and there's a screw on that side, and I'm gonna hold on to this because I don't want it to drop down and clatter onto the floor, so I'm holding it up there and loosening that up, and see, it comes right out. We're gonna mount it like that. 3, choosing a wall location. Now, this is important because you don't want it near drapes or furniture that's going to be within these limits. They're showing 200 millimeters in all direction. You want a clear place that you don't have drapes or something like that that could cause a fire. So the location I got is just fine. And in here is step number 4, drilling the holes and attaching the mounting bracket. That's the stage we're in. But you're gonna have to do a little planning. I want mine right about here, and what I did is I held it up with a level on top and made me 2 marks as to where I want the top to sit. And then I mounted this underneath and measured the hole from the center here to the top there. And then that was 1 5/8 inches. So I'm going to go above this so that this mark doesn't show, about 1/4 of an inch, and measure down 1 5/8. And 1 5/8 is where I'm going to put my hole for this underneath that picture. And I'm going to line it up and level this, so I'll get one hole at 1 5/8 inches. And this is DeWalt, and they got a little pilot drill there, so I'm going to push him right in here. And this is 7/32. That's the size you want for these anchors. See, it wanted to scoot over to the right. To put these anchors in, you need a 5/16 hole to put it in. 7/32 is nowhere near enough. And I want to get the other side screwed in. So I want to find that other one right there. And the way I do it is put my level on here. And I'm going to find the hole location and mark this. Okay. And then we tap one of these in. Perfect. And let me see how that looks. I'm going to get that in there until I get her just the way I want it. Okay, this is the answer to putting this in, but I'm just doing a trial run just to see how this is working out. Okay, and I can put the others in. What I can do is drop this down after I mark each one of these and put the rest in. But this is strong enough to test it out to be sure I got it exactly the way I want it, and also to test it out totally. All right, now you lift this up and you look And on the other side, you lift it high enough that you can just slide it down the wall. Okay, and it should. Let me see. Yep, this will allow us to test it, and then I will go back, pull this off, and put the rest of the screws in by the method I use, marking it and then punching a hole in it and then putting the screws in. Won't be any trouble. But now this will allow us to hook it up and to test it out because it's secure right now. This is the other thing that you should look at. There's no changing the side that the electric cable comes out of. It's on the wrong side for me. It would have been better if it would have been over here. I wish they would have had an option for that. But they don't, so that means that I'm going to have to run this down onto the baseboard and run it over. And you see, I'm going to run out of cord, but I have this heavy duty cord that I made a long time ago, a little, it's probably 6 foot long, and it's just right to do what I need for an extension. Don't use lamp cord, only if you're gonna make something, make it just for the length you need, because they say not to use an extension cord. The next step, in our temporary setup, we're missing the middle screws now, but I'm going to go ahead and secure it down. There's these screws on the side that we took out of the bracket. Okay, and I put one on the other side, and she's not going to come down in this setting that we're doing. I see that the hole is a little bit behind it, so I have to pull out a little bit on this to get her started. So I need my little screwdriver. And then I can get her started. Yeah, there we go. And then get her going. So don't let that throw you off. Just pry back until you line it up, if that's the case. Okay. The next step, after locking the bracket on either side with the 2 screws, is to put your little crystals into the tray. This is that little tray that we took out. And remember, it just sits right down in here. It was tie wrapped. So if you haven't taken the tie wraps off, you can cut them, and it just sits there. And this is the crystals. They're little sharp pointed little devices that accentuate the colors and all that. So you just put these in and just kind of pour them in. I don't know if you have to put them all in or you just fill it, but they give you a bag of them. I'm going to fill it as best I can and make sure I have them all in there. And so the light is going to shine up onto this, giving it that effect of flames. Okay, I got me some stuff down here so I don't drop this down and break something. This is soft pillows. Now, when you see the vent, that's the top, and these are 2 holes here. That's for the air intakes, and also your power switch is right here. You can reach right in. So there's no making a mistake on this as to which is top and bottom. And remember, these little feet are going into those holes, and there's 2 on this side, and here's the screw on this lower left bottom that's going to screw in there to hold it in place so that it can't come loose. And it only goes one way, and there's a channel right here, and they almost just want to fit together. And you line them up and then push, and they should snap. There. Now I'm going to take my hand and pop that cable up in there, holding it, and here I'm going to lift up and guide it into those slots. Okay, so here I go. I've got to lift the whole thing up together and then drop it in. Okay, there. And this side over here. Whoop. Okay. Yeah. Let me make sure. Yeah. Let me take this off. And now I'm gonna, okay, there we go. Okay, and the bottom is clipped. Okay, folks, the key to this is once you get it in there and resting, you've got to lift the whole thing up to get both sides to slide in. You can't get that side in and then get this to slide in. So once you get those two in, it's plugged in, closed, then you can lift up on this and get this side to go in. I think you'll see when what I'm saying. Now I got to put that other little screw in this lower left-hand corner that I took out, and that will keep this from coming off. And then I'm just going to tighten this up. What's that? Yeah. Okay, she's tight so it can't pull up or go anywhere. Right up in this area, you'll see a screw hole, and with your hardware of mounting screws, there's a little black screw, and that is going to hold the top of the bracket in. So you can put that in now, right here. And you don't want to drop it. If you drop this screw, you're going to have to take this back off. So be extremely careful and hold on to it. And it's a little bit long, and so I'm going to try it out. Yeah. It's gotten tight. Okay, there we go. The center button here is what turns it on. So we're going to turn it on right now, and look at that. Now I'm going to let you see some of the controls. Here's color. Let's see what we can do with color. Right there, that's color A. Let's try again. You got to point it. If you look on the right hand side down at the bottom, you got some stuff. That's A. There we go. And so you can get blues, reds, all kinds of colors. And then we've got color B right here. Wow. Look at that. I mean, like the rock is on fire. I'm telling you. So these are the controls. And then right here is the dimmer. Let's try the dimmer. Ah, yeah. And see, there's controls down at the lower left-hand corner that shows you what you got. And you have a timer here. You can set the timer for 2 hours, 3, 4, 5, 6, all probably up to 24. No. Let me go around to 0. I think that's it. Okay, and speed. Let's see what the speed. Oh, slow the flames down, speed them up, and really get them going. I mean, you got a crackling fire there. Okay, so you see, and right here is the heat, how much heat you're getting out of this thing. There, you hear the furnace go. I feel it already. This is the furnace right here. And it's off. In the lower right-hand corner, it said off, so I don't want the furnace on. And it probably has to run for a little bit of time to clear out the heat. So this is really fantastic. Oh, for that nice evening. You need a dog laying down there, and they could very easily. Kids can be close to it with no danger. And you can just have a light show without the heat going. Folks, I really like this, and it's going to be nice. We rearranged our little foyer so that we can sit out here in the wintertime and enjoy a nice show of light, like a fireplace. Okay, folks, I think you saw how easy it is actually to install this, and I think you can do it. And I think you'll enjoy it. I know we are. So with that, I'll close out with thank you very much for watching my video.